if it's alright. I wanna kick it with you all night, all night. Have a good time. Ain't gotta worry, cause it's alright, it's alright. All night, all night, all night.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Arabic for in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Peace. Just doing this video at the request of Tatiana. Y'all put together your archives. That's actually something I wanted to do with my father, because he told me many things that now it's just it's a memory, you know, but it's still, the knowledge is still there. It's like how it is in supreme mathematics. One is knowledge, and that's the foundation of everything in life. So if you have a good foundation, as you go through life, you can always apply that, and it becomes, it makes you wiser. And when it comes to different decisions, that wisdom becomes a bridge between your experiences and how you deal with things. But yeah, up in here in the hospital, been in here about, I think, like 9 or 10 days now. I had surgery on the lung 10 years ago. I had an accident, car accident, and was on my way to New York. Got to the last toll, and somebody was speeding through the toll booth and hit the car. I was in the back of the car, and I basically flew to the other side of the car. Impact was something serious, and I ended up having my right clavicle, collarbone was broke, my left lung completely collapsed, the right ring on my pelvis was broken, and I had a torn ligament in my left knee. So at that time I was in the hospital for about 13 days. That was the only time I ever broke a bone in my body. That was in like 2008, I think. I was like 27 years old. And that, for the type of injury they said it was, like if I was somebody who wasn't in shape, had it been older, I would have been in like a full body cast. You cannot put a cast on the collarbone, you cannot put a cast on the pelvis. However, I was in very good condition through long, years of always being fit, active, doing martial arts, as well as my mom was in a good condition. Because, first thing I did, brother who was driving, the God name is Born Savior. He ran around and opened up the door, and he was like, "You all right? You all right, God?" I was like, "Yeah." Help me stand up. So I put my arm on his shoulder, and he helped me stand up. So with all of that broken and collapsing, I still stood up. That was my first reaction, was to stand up on my feet, And that was my mind state. And when I sat down, I realized how painful, I was the most painful I have ever been in my life, the physical pain. And when I sat down, it was like crucial. I'm like trying to balance myself because I'm all messed up. And, I laughed and I told him, I said, "God, I got to go to the hospital."
Hello.
Peace, how you doing?
Breakfast for today.
All right. So they took me to the hospital, and basically I was in there for 13 days. I even wrote an article on that whole experience. It's in the 5% newspaper. I need to see if I can get that one. I wrote a whole article on it. But, in the hospital, that time, I never spent that amount of time in the hospital, and I was very, very, very weak. The body was very messed up. And I was in such strong medication that I'd be sitting there, and my mom was always there, and I'd be sitting there, I couldn't hardly talk, my lung was collapsed, and the highest I can go is a whisper. My mom was always there, and then I would blink my eyes and open my eyes. My mom be sitting in the same spot, but then it'd be like a whole bunch of people that came to see me, and then I'd blink again and open my eyes. Nobody be there with just but my mom. And I was on morphine, and it's such a strong medication that me thinking I'm blinking, but literally hours was passing. I was going to sleep for hours, and I thought I was just blinking. So You know, I went through that experience, and I think it took me like 8 days just to be able to stand up. And I ended up putting a chest tube in. And I sent the picture of the chest tube I just got taken out yesterday. That was the same kind of tube. And he was like, oh, you know, you didn't want to see that, whatever. But, you know, that's a part of my life experience. And you was just seeing it. I had it inside of me. You know, but that was definitely a crucial experience. And one thing above all is that my mind state when it happened is a tragedy. I never had any kind of doubt, not even an atom's weight of doubt in my mind that I wouldn't be all right. And even though I was physically unable to have, you know, control anything, even my own body to do the most common thing, my mind state was always above my body. It was always above what condition I was in. My mind was always superseded the way I felt. And it was based on because I had knowledge of self. I know who I am, and I know that man is not the body nor the soul. And with that knowledge internalized, I was able to bring myself up, build myself up, and get stronger and stronger. And that's very important because thoughts of the mind affect the body. Here it is 10 years later, I'm in the hospital and I had to have a major surgery on that lung. And now I'm 37 years old. And my mind is much more powerful and I got a greater understanding than I had then. And, you know, this is one of the things that causes me to heal faster. This is one of the things that caused me not to have worry, you see, and not to try to beat myself up about anything going on presently or in the past. Because life is about inhaling and exhaling. You take things in and then you have to let those things out. And you only keep the best part that's essential for your existence and essential for your upliftment. So this was a small video, and this is a part of history. You'll have it, you know what I'm saying, immortalized in the realm of YouTube or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So this is your father. Ramar Yvonne Allen is given to by my father. Ramar is in the language of Tamil, which is one of the Hindustan languages. It means God. Yvonne is E-V-A-A-N, but I was named after a whole line of my family, my cousins, who are the Evans, E-V-A-N. And Allen was the name that during our family going through basically the slavery process was given from whatever Caucasian man or family at that time owned the family as property. So Allen is not a true Moorish last name, nor is it our original name. So with that knowledge, when a person comes into knowledge, their name always changes, especially when you get knowledge of self. I had knowledge of self since I was 16, and I came into the name of Allah's son, God, which later became Allah's son, Bay, because the Bay is one of the 5 original names of the 5 families, indigenous families in America. And Bay means ruler. And this is one of our original names. And when it came from the 5 civilized tribes, what they call them the Indian tribes, or it's definitely not Indian, because that's the wrong name to be put upon us. So it's a Moorish title. So hopefully you got something, and you know there'll be more videos to come in the future, inshallah, if God wills. All right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Peace be upon you and the mercy of God.
I'm here with my 2 sisters. Baby keeps on crying, and she already ate and just woke up and won't be satisfied unless I keep walking all around with her. Other sister's right there. Say hi. Somebody get her.
I know you.
No. Stop hitting me.
Why are you being
Get
so
off
mean
me,
to
Jack.
them?
You're so mean. Get off. You're gonna fall off the bed. Get off. Get off. I love you.
Okay, right.
No. Hey! Stop it. Only give high fives. High five.
Don't do that.
Oh, get off my head, please. Good? Are you happy now? Get my phone back? It's a monkey. Hey. Still on camera. We're seeing you. They know this is you. Say hi, Ira. Say hi. Logan, say hi. You want to talk? Just eat some chicken then.
If it's all